What's going on, everyone? So, continuing our coverage of the Disney-Fox deal, there are a couple other things to consider when talking about the X-Men and Fantastic Four, and all of the spin-offs and things that Fox had actually had planned prior to this deal even being a thing. So as we know, Fox was planning films based on Gambit, the X-Force, Multiple Man, X-23, New Mutant sequels, Doctor Doom even, and a Franklin, Richards, and Valeria spin-off for the Fantastic Four. Now, with the Disney acquisition, it's likely none of these films ever see the light of day, at least in their current incarnations, and if we ever do see characters like Doctor Doom or Gambit or something, they'll probably be the MCU versions of them and not this Fox version that they were going to go with. Now, whether Channing Tatum, for instance, remains attached to Gambit is another thing to be seen entirely, as he has been talking about the character for some years now, and maybe he would stick around for the MCU, but we just don't really know at this point. Now, it's also worth noting that earlier today I talked about the Disney CEO confirming that Marvel and Disney would continue to make R-rated Marvel films if it made sense for the property and the brand. Like, for instance, Deadpool will remain rated R in the MCU, but would other characters get the R rating treatment, like a X-23 or Wolverine or something like that? Potentially, but we'll have to see how this whole deal shakes out over the next 12 months or so. Now, obviously, films that are already shot and coming out, like the New Mutants and X-Men Dark Phoenix is most definitely not going to be getting a sequel, and it's even in question whether or not it'll be theatrically released. Now, there is a chance that Disney won't want to confuse audiences and just release it as a straight-to-home video type of thing or something like that. But again, you can make the argument that maybe they'll let it come out in theaters because it could be like a send-off for that version of the X-Men, and then they'll introduce a rebooted version, kind of like how TASM 2 came out, and then a couple years later we got the rebooted Tom Holland Spider-Man. Maybe they could do something like that, we'll just have to see. Unfortunately, a casualty of this, like I mentioned, is the New Mutants. The New Mutants is actually shaping up to be quite good, and apparently they screened it for test audiences recently, and the results were very good as well. And in my personal opinion, the film looks pretty cool, and I wouldn't mind getting a trilogy of those characters, but it seems like that'll be a casualty of this whole Disney-Fox deal, and if we ever see an incarnation of the New Mutants again, they'll likely be rebooted in the MCU. So drop your thoughts down below. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that Disney will in fact cancel all those spin-offs that Fox was planning? Like I mentioned, X-Force, Gambit, Multiple Man, X-23, the Doctor Doom film from Noah Hawley, things like that. Do you think they'll be canceled outright? Do you think they'll try and work them into the MCU? Would you like them to be canceled? Would you like them to actually get made? Drop all your thoughts down in the usual spot, and for more updates on everything coming out of this Disney-Fox deal, be sure to subscribe to Hybrid Network. Thanks again for checking this video out. If you want to get even more updates from us, check out our social media platforms, our website for the latest news and editorials, and if you want to see our content get better and help us out, donate to us on Patreon for exclusive rewards.